undercover to hunt down a killer. And her co-star, Bruce Willis, does a little hunting of his own. Take a look.
Are you married? Wow. That would make this really interesting, wouldn't it?
No.
No?
God, no.
Just broke up with someone?
No.
Gay?
No. Actually, I'm thinking of joining Match.com.
No, you're not. Are you kidding me?
Lots of people date online.
You're gorgeous.
What do you think of it?
My life is complicated enough as it is. I'm sitting here having a drink with you, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to explain that.
Well, you have to.
Hopefully not.
Wow, please welcome back Halle Berry.
Do you feel the love they're standing for you? Do you feel the love? There you go! You don't need to do that. You sit down. Your thighs are good enough.
You have to go all the way down, Barbara.
high
You gotta go all the way down
Oh,
to
honey,
here.
yes.
Well, that's a lot.
All the way down.
Okay, show off. Go ahead.
Glad you're on today. I mean,
Aren't
we
you
could have
glad?
Bruce Willis, he would have left us all alone.
He wouldn't have done squats.
He
though.
wouldn't have done squat. So this is a very scary thriller, and you play, I mean, you can't tell from here, but you play another tortured lady. You love tortured ladies.
I do.
Do you go out of your way when they, because you get every script under the sun.
No.
So do you, well, so do you go through and say, aha, another woman who's going to have terrible problems, I want to be her?
I love that. I do. I try to search those out. I think tortured is maybe the wrong word I've chosen to use. I love characters that are full and alive and who have some trouble, something to overcome. Those are more interesting people to watch, and those are people that are most like everybody.
Yeah.
So I think people relate more to those
fun
characters.
Than James Bond movies.
Much more. People don't relate to Jinx. Who is Jinx? I mean, I don't know who she is either.
Yeah.
You know, in some levels. People relate to people who are struggling to overcome some pain in their past and trying to not be victimized.
That's right. You are.
People relate to those characters more, and so do I.
Yeah. Your co-star Bruce Willis said, "Not a bad day at the office. I got to work and flirt with Halle Berry." He was quoted as saying, "What was it like working with him?"
Really good. Bruce was my neighbor when this movie
Oh.
came across my desk. And once we decided that it had to be Bruce, I thought, well, you know, I'll just go knock on the door, take old Brucey boy the script, and
Is that how it happened?
that's how it happened.
Oh, wow.
One day he read it, the next day he said yes.
And then when did you move?
He moved 3 months later.
After the film was done. After the film was
You
done.
actually played 3 characters in this film.
Yeah.
3 different people. Was that hard to do? Did you get confused?
Very much so.
You did?
Yes.
It's always out of order. and-
Always out of
But you said
order.
the clothes made a difference.
Yeah, usually on a movie, a hat or a pair of shoes, or there's something that I always connect to. When I have that on, I'm the character. In this movie, it was the ring. We called it the row ring. There was a ring that and when I put this ring on, I instantly connected to who this
That's
person
what
was.
Olivier used to do. He'd put the costume on, then he would
Yeah.
become the character.
Yeah, I loved the movie, and it was so disorienting for me because your character's named Ro. So, and you never really hear, that's what everyone calls me in life, Ro. So it was so weird. I kept going, oh, no, it's not me. It's her. It's me. It's, you know, it's such a good, it's a really good movie, and you don't have any idea what's going to happen. It's a surprise. It is a very big surprise.
But I have to say, it has an ending, and not just because I'm in it. These are the kinds of movies that I love to see. It not only is it twisted, and not only does it take you on this psychological journey of these, you know, very imperfect people,
Right.
but it has an ending that is just mind-blowing. When I read the script, I thought, wow.
Yeah, when I watched it, I thought the same thing.
did.
No way was my comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
absolutely amazing. You have another movie coming out, don't you?
I do, Things We Lost in the Fire with Benicio del Toro.
And when does that one come out?
That comes out in the fall.
Now, are you also doing Napoli Ever After? Is that
Yeah,
true?
that's
Yes.
probably going to be sometime this
But I
summer.
want to ask you, but that's the movie in which you shave your hair?
Shave my head,
So it's
yeah.
all about hair and stuff?
It's all about hair, and about as women, how we define ourselves through our hair, and if our hair's not right, we don't leave the house someday, you know.
Exactly.
And so this character shaves her
But
head
this week, with everything going on with Don Imus, and the title of this movie, which you said is a book,
Yes.
Napoli Ever After.
So not
Does
gonna change the
anybody have
title.
any- yeah, nobody's going to have any problem with that?
They shouldn't. It's not, you know, used in the derogatory term at all. And when you see the book, and there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with the word nappy. It's the
Right.
way in
Stevie
which he
Wonder
used
uses
it.
it in
It's the way in
lyrics,
which he
right.
used it that offended people.
Yes.
And the title of this book is what the author, you know, titled it, and it's not in a derogatory
So if
sense
somebody
at all.
just said, I'm trying to think of something there. So there's that, boy, there's that chick with the nappy hair, it wouldn't be bad?
Well, that depends the way in which you
If it
use
was
it.
said in
If it's to
affection and
be,
not derogatory?
yeah, I think that would be derogatory.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Well,
not
you
derogatory.
know the Stevie Wonder lyric, looking
Yeah.
back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy. Right.
Yeah, it depends the way, every word, it depends on the way in which you mean it, what your
The
intent
intent.
is. And that can make it a negative, I think, or a positive.
Exactly. We're going to take a break. Halle Berry's sticking around. Why? Because we like her. That's why. We'll be right back right after this.
Or are you not a spy? What?
Yes!
Do you even know what the word loyalty means?
I bet your wife is wondering the same thing.
That's Halle Berry and Perfect Strangers, with opens all over the country today. Looks like it's going to be a huge hit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I
what they're
hope
saying.
so.
Those people who track things. But
Who are those people?
I don't know, but we're glad they're saying what they do. So tell me about the Esquire interview, because I read this and I think it's the most amazing idea.
Well, you interview yourself and you interview the reporter.
Right. Well, what
And
happened
you say
was...
you won't do any more interviews.
No, because I arrived at this interview after a few frustrating interviews, and I sat down at the table with the guy, and he could see that his name was Mike Tirella, and I'm Tom Tirella, and I was just furious. And he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, I'm sick of coming to these interviews and being asked all the same dumb questions. The same story's been told about me for 10 years.
Yeah, they did a story in Parade magazine that we had done years ago with you, like it was
Yeah,
brand new.
I know.
You and I talked about it, I don't know, 10 years ago.
It's no new information, but
so
they
what
presented it
happened
as if it were new. So I just said to him, I don't want the same story told over and over. He goes, well, I read your profile, and you seem to say the same things. I said, people ask me the same things over and over. And so halfway through the interview, I realized he hadn't taken out a tape recorder or a piece of paper, and I thought, I've scared the guy to death. He's not even going to ask me any question now. So by the end of the dinner, I said, wouldn't it be great if I wrote the interview? That would be different. Nobody would know I can do that or would think they want to read what I wrote.
Right,
Wouldn't that be
clever.
cool? So he said, well, let me call the editor and check it out. And then he got back to me, and he thought, they love the idea. If you can do it, we would love it. Let's see if you can do it. So they gave me like 48 hours, and I wrote it, and then he wrote little footnotes around it.
What was your favorite question that you asked yourself?
Well, I didn't ask myself. What I did was I turned the tables on him. I asked him the dumb, annoying questions that I always get asked, and I asked him some questions.
Tell us all the
And then I made up the answers that I thought I heard, like always happens to me.
So
Well, I asked him a question about his marriage, because everybody talks about my failed marriages, so I asked him about his failed marriage, and I did what they always do to me. They always ask me, well, do you think it's because of your career that your marriage failed? So I said, your ex-wife was a nurse. Do you think this because she was a nurse that your career, that your marriage
Wouldn't that be
ended?
fun if you could do that with everybody who interviewed you?
And he was so good about it, and he let me joke, and he let me make fun of myself and fun of sort of this process that we all have to go through.
Would you like to make fun of yourself? Because I was reading that you showed up for a Razzie Award.
I did.
For Catwoman. Now, most celebrities would not do that. They just ignore it and hope it would go away. But what is it in you that made you do that?
Well, one, I knew it wasn't going away. If I said, I don't want this, they were still going to give it to me.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought, let me go and embrace it and have fun and laugh at myself. And I did. And it was probably one of the most empowering and one of the best things I think I ever did. Really.
You're in a very good place now in your life, aren't you?
I am.
So you know what I'm leading into.
I do. Let's talk about your man. He's taught you all these wonderful exercises. I wonder why he's got her doing this, guys. I wonder what he's planning.
That's good. Look at her. You shut Barbara Walters up. It's never happened.
No, what's happening now? You know I love you.
I know,
Almost
and
until
I
today.
love you too.
Okay, darling, so how's it going?
Wonderful.
Good, because I worry about it. Every time I'm with Halle, I say, is it good to you? Is it okay? And this is
right back
this
on
is
you.
right.
She's much better than I am. She's much better than me. You're Barbara Walters.
This is such a nice, attractive man. And it's okay?
He is, and you asked me earlier, but what kind of job does he have? Does he make money? Is he going to take care?
You
He
make
does
enough
very
money.
well.
You don't need somebody with money.
Take care of yourself.
No, but I have learned from my last experience, he should have a job.
A job helps.
A job is one thing.
Not a lot of money, but a job, a man needs to go to work.
Well, just for his own sense of independence, too. I think
And in order to be in an equally yoked
Yeah,
relationship,
and also,
you
he's
have to
comfortable
have...
with you and your stardom because it's, you know,
He is.
That's important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
the
to walk
ego,
into
you
a
know.
room
Yeah, it's the
with
first
you
time I've
and-
had that. Honestly,
How
the
old
first
do you want
time.
to be? How long do you want to live? We were talking about it. What's your number? 100, 110?
Whatever, just spit it out.
I agree with you. No, I want to live as long as people I love are here.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
that's it.
100 and have nobody here
Exactly.
that I love and I know. Life would be meaningless.
Meaningless.
So I agree with you.
And
As long
boring.
as everybody else is here, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, well, when you get to be 100, I won't be asking you these questions.